Hello everyone, I'm Hongfei. I'm the founder of NEO. It's my honor to be invited to BlockDown, the special event during the COVID-19 outbreak. Uh, I believe this will be a very unique experience for myself. This is my first time to give a speech online. First of all, I would like to let the fans of NEO to know that the NEO team are healthy, are still energetic, and all my colleagues in Shanghai have been back to work for almost 2 months, and the life here is back to normal, and we're seeing traffic jam again in peak hours. And also our branch and representatives in many other countries and cities, they are also doing well and healthy, including our office in Seattle, our representative in Zurich, and also in Seoul, Korea. For our core developers and community developers, contributors, they has always been working remotely through GitHub, through other online tools. So I believe the pandemic is the impact of pandemic to those core developers, community developers, contributors are not minimal. Today, my topic will be blockchain in a post-pandemic world. I will do some prediction, or I can share my thoughts about what the pandemic will bring to our life, and what the world will be after the pandemic, and most importantly, what the blockchain can do to cure a post-pandemic world, those problems we may face after this special period. So there will be many complications of the pandemic. It could be biological, it could be mental, but more fundamentally, our economic and political life will probably be changed after the pandemic. So I will be focusing on two aspects. So the first one will be inflation. The US Federal Reserve had to take strong measures, powerful measures to counter the fear, the lack of liquidity in the capital market in US. They did a lot of things, including doing repo operations, including buying securities directly from the market. All these measures add up together will bring trillions of dollars to the US economy. These trillions of dollars are newly created monies that will definitely help the market, the capital market. But at the meantime, it is also a source of inflation that everyone will finally be impacted. So inflation is one of the complications, but the U.S. Federal Reserve inflation is just a part of the story. There are many other central banks are doing similar things. They are injecting easy money into their own financial systems. Probably there won't be anything better than crypto assets, including Bitcoin, including Ether and NEO and other crypto tokens. Those tokens, the supply are mathematically limited. You are 100% sure that the supply is guaranteed by algorithm. There are no central bank can do an inflation or increase the money supply of those crypto assets. So I believe fund managers, institutional investors, they probably will consider Bitcoin and other crypto tokens as a alternative investment opportunities. So that's one impact of the pandemic, or due to the world inflation, and the counter measure can be investing a part of your portfolio in crypto assets. So the second complication or consequence of the pandemic is deglobalization. We've seen deglobalization way before the pandemic itself. We've seen the trade war between China and US, and Donald Trump's one of the Donald Trump's promises to American citizens, to American people, is to bring back the manufacturing to US. And this pandemic just enlarged, just emphasized, just escalated this kind of conflict between countries. Some Western countries suddenly realized their lack of the ability to provide essential medical devices to their citizens. They cannot produce mask, a ventilator in time. Their supply chain, their manufacturing are just not there. It's not in their country. It's either in China and maybe in other Asian countries. So they just realized that they want to bring back those essential supply chain, essential manufacturing ability back to their country. So it's not just the supply chain, the manufacturer, the factory is not in their country that bothers those politicians. It is more of that the supply chain, the factory is in a country that has a different ideology, has a different political system. Their people have different culture, have different value system. It's a clash of it's a distrust between different cultures, different country, different systems. I think that's the fundamental underlying reason of those politicians that are warring. So after the pandemic, I believe we will witness a process of deglobalization, and we will see two schools of thoughts, two systems, two beliefs competing with each other. And here comes blockchain. I believe blockchain will probably be a solution, a remedy to this situation, to this post-pandemic new set of rules that we will see in the future. Why blockchain is a solution is a pandemic, is a solution. Why blockchain is a remedy of this issue we're facing? I believe there are three key reasons. First of all, blockchain is ideology neutral. It's not backed by capitalism. It's not backed by linked to socialism. It's very neutral technology. So that's the first point. And second point, it's jurisdiction agnostic. So if your asset, your business logic is on the blockchain, is managed by a smart contract, you are not directly affected by the jurisdiction of the entity behind the smart contract. Most of, if not all, the business logics are processed by the smart contract itself. Sometimes people say code is law. I think that's a similar expression to indicate that a smart contract or a blockchain application is jurisdiction agnostic. And so that's the second point. And the third point is blockchain can eventually become a global marketplace. A blockchain is also called a distributed ledger technology. A ledger is a global database. So if we can put every asset, every physical stuff onto the blockchain, to put it on chain, we will have a huge global marketplace that everyone can trade with everyone without the need to trust each other, and without the need to seek to jurisdiction protection frequently. And now comes the question, is today's blockchain technology ready? Unfortunately, my answer is no. I don't think today's blockchain can fulfill the mission to hold the future human economy on top of it. I think today's blockchain still has a long way to go, and we have to especially improve in three aspects. They are interoperability, tokenization, and adaptation. The first aspect is interoperability. I think this is the very crucial ability that every blockchain will need. Currently, we are seeing some cross-chain protocols, but most of them are focusing on asset transfer. They will let Ether or BTH flow from one blockchain to another one, but I don't think that's enough. What we need is a universal or general purposed cross-chain protocol that will enabling smart contract on blockchain 1 to invoke smart contract on blockchain B, get the result back, and doing some following stuff after the result from the second smart contract. And imagine with that ability, we will see a network of different blockchains. Some of them may focus on digital assets, some of them are doing identification, some of them are providing the ability to save your data on distributed storage, and all these blockchains interlinked together but decoupled, but still can be interactive with each other, will form a network of blockchain, and I would like to call that network of blockchain the next generation of internet. And we with NEO, we are working diligently with the cross-chain area, and I will talk about that in my later slides. And the second areas that we need to work on is tokenization. So if you believe blockchain network will be the underlying foundation for the real human economy in the future, we definitely need to digitalize, need to tokenize a lot of things, including virtual assets and also digital assets and also physical assets. There are a lot of things we need to tokenize, like NFT. We can use a non-fungible token to tokenize collectibles, to tokenize tickets, art, and a lot of stuff like that. So that's one category of tokenization. And also another bigger category with more value behind it is securities. Anyone with basic blockchain understanding of blockchain technology and the capital market will have a conclusion that distributed ledger technology or blockchain is definitely the better technology to do all of this record keeping, all of this clearing thing behind the capital market. So I have no doubt that in the next 2 or 3 years we'll see a lot of securities that will be natively issued on the blockchain. And third, even bigger stuff, fiat, the money we use, the fiat money we use, which is still the representative of human, all the values, all the assets that is created by human, which is still denominated in fiat. There are many central banks are doing different stage of experiment, and I believe one of the leading central banks are the Chinese central bank. There's one major China commercial bank. There's one screenshot just got reviewed yesterday, and I will show that picture to you later. So in the future, I do believe a programmable digital money will prevail in our daily life. And fourth is physical stuff. Eventually, when we have 5G network, when we have different sensors, different IoT devices on physical stuff, physical devices, we will see a interconnected of everything. And at that stage, you can say that our human economy is based on the blockchain, is really interconnected, and all the assets is programmable. And here is a screenshot that was surfaced yesterday. It is said it's from the application, the app developed by a major commercial bank called Agricultural Bank of China. And within this screenshot, we can see with CBDC, the Chinese yuan, the Chinese central bank digital currency, you can pay with QR code. You can do remittance. You can even touch to pay without network. So both devices are offline. You can still transfer money from one device to another device. It's a very intriguing situation, intriguing scenario. And after we tokenized, digitized a lot of these things, we will see a programmable digital economy that will link the digital world with the physical world, and even the biological world with some machine to brain communication interfaces. And the third aspect is adaptability. I believe for a blockchain to be successful, you have to be very clear about your design goals. You're not trying to be decentralized is not the sole goal of blockchain. You have to make different design choices, and those choices are not binary. You're not just choosing between decentralized and centralized. In fact, you have to decide whether you wish most of the transactions happened on-chain or off-chain, on the layer 1 or on the layer 2. And also you need to decide how to do the governance. You want most of the governance happened off-chain, that is lead by a physical, a legal foundation, a legal entity called foundation, or you want most of the governance happened on-chain by stakeholders voting for different proposals. And you also need to make decisions whether you want the blockchain to be permissioned or permissionless. In some of the scenarios, especially when dealing with financial sectors, it's probably better to start the blockchain as a permissioned blockchain or private blockchain, and gradually open it up to the public. So there are many factors to consider, to factor in. It's not just centralized and decentralized. So I will be more than happy to see different blockchains on the different level of the spectrums on the spectrum. So one of the ideology of NEO is to find the overlap between idealism and pragmatism. In 2020, NEO will see its biggest release after the birth of NEO, the new version, NEO 3. There will be many new features we will be releasing with NEO 3, and there are three major ones. First, New 3 will have a built-in Oracle. That is a huge improvement. That means if you are writing smart contract on New 3, you have the ability to access the conventional internet. You can request data from it, simply give a URL. You will get the data with a smart contract. That will be the first blockchain with building reliable Oracle. So that will be one of the main features of New 3. And also New 3 will have two modules to give the ability for developers. First, it's New FS. The distributed file system ships with New 3. So with New 3, you don't need to worry about the size of your customer's data. You can store it separately on the New FS system. And also the second major feature is new identity, new ID. With new ID, you have the ability to attach identification to your customers, which is controlled by the user. So they have the ability to review their identity or to protect their privacy. So these three features will be the key feature or the flagship new feature of New 3, building Oracle, New FS, and New ID. But along with that, there are many other improvements like smart contract optimization and better interoperability, and we are also improve the tooling of developers, and also there are many smaller enhancement at protocol level. So this is the new features of New 3. Regarding interoperability, there will be major improvement with New 3. First of all, we have been working in the past 6 months or so with other blockchain projects, and with New 3, developers, users will have the ability to transfer Bitcoin, ETH, ONT, and other assets between different blockchains. So that's the transfer of asset. And also New 3 is working on the more generic purpose cross-chain protocol. So we will probably use cross-chain protocol to do the migration from New 2 and New 3. And with this migration, we can set a example or be an experiment or model for other blockchains to evolve from their older version to a newer version, or even you can merge two different blockchains to a new one, use this cross-chain protocol migration model. So that's the interoperability side. And with the tokenization side, we have been working very closely with our ecosystem partners. I would like to mention 3 of them. The first one is a decentralized non-custodian exchange. It's called Switcho Network, and they're based in Singapore. And I personally have used their exchange, their service. The user experience is really superb. If you are a DEX user, I urge you to try their product. They're just they're brilliant. And so any tokens issued on with NEP 5 standard can be traded on Switcho Network. And the second ecosystem partner is Liquify. They are a bunch of former bankers, financial practitioners. They're doing the STO business. They will use New ID. They will integrate New ID to streamline their KYC ML process, and they've already doing very well. They're working on a $600 million deal to securitize a real estate in Abu Dhabi. And the third one is New Line. New Line is emerging but very rapid growing digital token wallet. They're based in China, but they have customers, clients from all over the world, and their user experience is also superb. So if you are a new token holder, try Neoline. So with a wallet, with a STO service provider, with decentralized exchange, we will have a closed loop of tokenization ecosystem. The third aspect is adaptability. The philosophy of Neo is always how to find the balance between idealism and pragmatism. There are many successful factors in the early design of Neo. For example, the DBFT consensus mechanism. We are probably the first public blockchain to use a BFT style consensus, and it's proven to be a good choice. There are more and more different blockchains, be it public or private. They're adopting similar BFT style consensus because it has perfect one block finality, so it's really suitable for financial uses, which is also the direction that Neo is heading to, because we are the digital asset protocol. And also, we're trying to be pragmatic. Besides consensus mechanism, another very important, crucial part of blockchain design is the governance. And we are the new team. When we designed the Neo 3's governance model, we are highly adaptive. We believe a hybrid model that combines on-chain governance with off-chain governance is well balanced, and we are confident that maybe after 1 or 2 years, or maybe 3 years, we will be proven again that our design of our hybrid governance model is a suitable one for the blockchain at this stage. I guess probably I'm running over time, so I'd like to take the last minute to summarize my key points. The message I like to deliver is, after the pandemic, the world will be fundamentally different. Many people will experience high inflation. We will witness a process of deglobalization, a world that is divided. Sometimes setbacks are inevitable, but luckily we have the tool, have the antidotes of those setbacks, the blockchain technology. But today's blockchain technology is not ready to fulfill the mission. We still need to improve in 3 aspects: interoperability, tokenization, and adaptability. So as long as we can improve in those 3 aspects, we will see a bright future, and may the fittest blockchain survive.